Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Marcy Samuelson, and I am Marketing Manager for the Developer Initiative here at Oracle. Thank you for attending today's webcast, Migrate Your Oracle Forms Applications to Oracle Apex. We are very excited to be able to share with you the key reasons to modernize and convert your Oracle Forms applications to Oracle Apex. If you have any questions during the workshop or the webcast, please put your question in the Q&A area and we will answer your questions as quickly as possible. This webcast is being recorded and we will make it available shortly after the webcast concludes. Again, thank you for joining the Migrate Your Oracle Forms Applications to Oracle Apex. This webcast will be presented by Monica Godoy, Principal Product Manager, and Benita Subramaniam, Senior Solution Architect, who will be answering questions in the Q&A area while Monica is presenting. At this point, I will turn it over to Monica.
Thank you so much, Marcy. And welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Today, I'm going to talk about a very popular topic, which is migrating your Forms applications to Apex. Okay. So, as Marcy said, I'm Monica Godoy. I'm Product Manager on the Oracle Apex team. And if after this session you have any questions regarding Apex, you can reach me out on Twitter or LinkedIn. Okay, so here's the agenda. First, I will briefly talk about Oracle Forms. I'm going to list some reasons why you or your customers probably want to migrate their Forms applications. Second, we are going to review the similarities, the differences, and the advantages of using Apex. The third is a demonstration about how to modernize a sample form using Oracle Apex. And lastly, some key points to take in mind and what you need to know before to start your modernization project. As Mark said, if you have any questions at any moment, please post those in the Q&A section. Okay, so let's get started with Oracle Forms. As you may know, Oracle Forms is a long-established technology to design and build enterprise applications quickly and efficiently. It's a very stable product, and it has evolved over the years, and it still is the technology of choice for thousands of developers. This is and one of the best forms can be suited for back office applications because Apex is one of the best tools for data entry operations. And from the end user point of view, at the beginning, takes time to get familiar with forms, but once they understand how to work, they are very productive. So maybe you are wondering if Forms is a great product, why I will modernize my Forms application, right? So I have here some reasons to understand why and when is a good moment to modernize. The first reason is when you need a modern, responsive user interface that will be able to run on any device. As you know, it's difficult to run Forms on any device. The second reason is when you need a modern application for customers or partners, and you want to have this application to be totally independent on the internal applications. The third reason is when you need a simple web applications that everyone can easily use. So besides to establish a standard for your applications, okay? And probably the most popular reason is that business requirements have changed and you need to redevelop the functionality. And sometimes you can meet those requirements using forms. So you are thinking in the successor or the alternative for forms. So Apex is the best proven alternative when you need to modernize your forms applications. So now let's see the similarities, the differences, and the advantages. Okay, so the first similarity is the language. The language for Apex today is SQL and PLSQL. But beginning with Oracle Database 21c, the server-side language can also be JavaScript, which is natively supported in Apex. So using Apex, you can quickly build applications based on table definitions, just like forms. So you can build forms, reports, charts, grids, and more on tables, views, or SQL queries. Okay, so it's a database-centric development, just like forms. In both forms and Apex environments provide powerful declarative features for building fully functional applications with minimal code. So both are declarative platforms. And if you have an existing investment in business logic in server side, you can really use this in Apex. For example, if you already have all the procedures tested, designed for your requirements, and those procedures are working properly today, so you can integrate those procedures in your new Apex application. You can integrate the packages, the functions, or the procedures that you already have in your Oracle database. And the last similarity is that Forms and Apex are built on top of Oracle database, and you can take advantage of native database features. Okay, now let's see the differences. The first one is that Forms is heavy, it's costly, and it's hard to install and maintain. And also, you require WebLogic server license, while with Apex is simple and light, and you only require Oracle Red Data Services, which is included for no additional cost with any Oracle database license. The second difference is that when you want or when you need to run your form application, you are going to find that you are limited by the browser support. So you can't run your form application on any browser. You have to use a specific browser for that. While in Apex, you can use any modern web browser to run your Apex applications, okay? Another difference is that when you finish your form, you need to compile that form, then you need to create or generate the executable or FMX for the form, and then you need to deploy those files to the web server. Okay, with Apex, you just make the changes in your page, save, and run the page, and you immediately are going to see the changes that you just applied in your application in that environment. So also, if you want or if you need, you can export the entire application as an SQL script, and then you can import the application in another environment. Also, you can export the application as a zip file, and you can also make a remote deployment of your application. Another difference is that as you might know, it's difficult to run your forms application in a smartphone or a tablet. Forms is suitable for desktops. So maybe if you need to run your Forms application on a mobile device, you are going to face a lot of issues, while with Apex, it's fully responsive out of the box. So you can create your application, and that exactly application is going to run on any device. And you don't need to make any change in the style or the theme. The application out of the box is going to run on any device, on any web browser. The last difference is that is regarding the style. So with Forms, it's difficult to maintain a consistency along the forms, while with Apex, you have the universal theme, the theme roller, the theme styles, and that gives you great flexibility and consistency along the applications. Okay, now let's see the advantages of Apex. If you already have a database license, of an Oracle database license, you already have Apex, and you don't have any restrictions on the number of developers, applications, or end users that can run your applications. Okay, so at the moment, as I said, if you already have an Oracle database, you already have Apex. It doesn't matter if you have the Express Edition option for the Oracle database, or if you have another version or version or edition of the Oracle database. Another advantage is that developers can be fully productive in weeks, not a month. So maybe if you have a small team, they can start creating amazing applications. They don't need a big team in order to create the applications. 1, 2, 3 people can start creating the Apex applications. Another advantage is that you don't need to rewrite the business logic that is already in your database. You can call all the packages, procedures, functions that are existing in your database, and you can call it directly from Apex. Okay, so you have a big investment there in your business logic, so you can use it right away in Apex. Also, if maybe that's the way that some people want to do it, that they have the Forms applications, but they want to create the new features using Apex, they can do it. They can have both Oracle Forms applications and Apex running on the same database using the same database objects with no problems at all. Okay, and you can run Apex on any Oracle database. It can be on-premise or it can be on cloud. And with Apex, you can build modern web applications that I'm pretty sure that your end users are going to love. Okay, those applications are beautiful, intuitive, responsive, so they are going to be happy to using that type of applications. And the last advantage is that you are going to get access to a very enthusiastic and helpful community, and also experienced partners. Okay, so taking in mind all of these, let's see how you can modernize a sample form. Okay, so I have here my environment of Apex. And let me show you one thing before to start the demo. Okay, before to start the demo, I would like to highlight this blog post series that I wrote the last year. It's about the modernization of Oracle forms using Apex. So if you want to see all the details, you can go to this link or scan the QR code to go directly into the blog post. Okay, and here is the demo that I'm going to demonstrate today. I have two forms, the customers and orders forms. And what I want to show you today is how, what are the options that you have in Apex in order to create something like this. Okay, let me show you first the customers form. So basically, this form includes a three region, right, where users can view the data by customer or by sales representative. And here is another region form with including customer information, address, billing, and comment, where the end users can view and also maintain the data for a particular customer. Okay. Now let's see the orders form, which is basically a master detail. It contains the information for the order, and the details contains the products that are related to this order. So users can add more products to the order, or they can maintain or make changes to the order itself. Okay. So what I have to take in mind if I'm going to create this form using Apex. Okay, so the first thing is that I need to provide a way that end users can find the customers easily. Okay, in forms they have this region. They can view the information by customer or by sales representative. And when they select one of these customers, they can find the details for that particular customer. Okay, so we have this region included all of the customers. And also the second region is this one, including the customer information, address, billing, and comment. And it includes some list of values. So what are the options that I have using Apex in order to create something like this? I can use a phaser search, I can use an interactive report, or I can use a tree region. So I wanted to show you these options in order that you can define what do you think, what is the best option for this particular sample form. Now let's see the orders. So as you see, is a master detail, right? So what are the options that we have in Apex? We can create a master detail, and there are different options: stack, side by side, or drill down. Or we can use a phaser search page where are all the orders listed, and the user can create new orders. And another option is a shopping cart. So this can be a different approach from this form, but it allows the customers to buy the products by themselves. So they don't need an employee or an employee to buy the things by them. Okay, so it's a different approach, and they can go directly to their web browser and buy the products that they need. So they don't need to call to the company or something like that. Okay, so now let's go to the to the Apex environment. Let's get started creating the Apex application. So what I want to show you first is how to create the application and how to create the options for the customers. Okay, so let's start creating the application. And I'm going to enter a name for this application. I'm going to call it Summit. And basically, this is for the customers. I can define the appearance of this application at this moment, or I can do it later. I will do it later. And let's add some pages. So as I said, the first option is using a phased search. So I'm going to select phased search here. And this is the customers. And this is the phased search option. Okay. Now, the second step is to define where is your data. And my data is in this table as customer. As you see in the form, we need to provide a way that users can maintain and create new customers. So we need to include a form. Let's add this page. And now let's add the second option for the customers. Okay, and for that option, I'm going to use an interactive report. Okay, this is customers, and this is the interactive report. Again, where is the data? Is in the S customer, and I want to include the form. Now, we have some list of values, so it's a good idea to include some lookup columns. For example, for the region, I want to display the name of that region, and for the sales representative, I want to display the last name for the sales representative. Let's add this page. Okay, so there are many features that you can include in your Apex application. I'm going to create it as default. And after that, if after you create the application, you would like to include some of these features, you can also do it. Okay. Now we are creating the application. Basically, it contains only 2 pages. Okay, here is the app. And let's run it. I need to enter my user and the password. Okay, so here is the home of the application. Let's go to the navigation menu, and I can find the 2 options for customers, phased search and interactive report. Let's go to the phased. And the phased search includes a number of phases that allows end users to find or find the information that they need easily. So for example, I need to find the customers for a particular country, let's say United States. So I can check the country, and the report in the right is going to be refreshed. For example, if I want to see only the customers that are located in Buffalo, that report is going to be refreshed. So then I can go to the details of that customer and make the changes that I need. Okay. Or I can create a new customer as well. Okay, let me clear the phases. And as you can see here, we have a country facet, the name, the region, city, and the state. If you remember, in the form application, we have two options to find the customers by country and by sales representative. So maybe it's a good idea to include that facet search here, that facet, sorry, for the sales representative. So I can go to edit this page in order to include that facet. So let's do that. Let me go to edit this page. And if this is the first time that you are seeing the page designer, you can find three panes here, 3 panels. The first panel includes all the components inside in your Apex application. For example, we have the facet search, the facets, and at the bottom, you can see the classic report that we are seeing at the right when we run the page. Okay, and the third panel, we can see a layout. It's a pre-visualization when you run this page. And at the bottom, you can see a gallery of regions, items, and buttons. And the third panel, something very important to highlight is that if you need to include a new region in your page, you just need to drag and drop the region, in this case, in the position that you need. Okay. The third panel is you are going to find the attributes and properties for the component that you are selecting. For example, in this case, I'm selecting the facet search. So I'm going to see, let me see if it's better for you to see. And I'm going to find all the attributes and properties for this component, okay? There are a number of attributes and properties. Okay, so in a declarative way, you can make changes for the regions, items, or buttons. Okay, so what we want to do here, I want to add a new facet for the customer's page. So I'm going to add a new facet, okay? And the name of this facet is sales representative. Okay, and I need to provide a list of values. Okay, so let me select share component, and I have here this list of values, which is the last name of the sales representative. So let's use that one and run the page, save the changes, and run the page. Okay, so let me go there. Here is the new facet, included a number of the sales representative. But as you can see, the end users need to scroll down in order to find this new facet. What we can do is go back to the page designer and move this facet up right after the country. Let's run again. And here it is. So users can check the sales representative or the customers for a specific sales representative easily. Another thing that I didn't mention is that you can see the information as a bar chart or a pie chart. Okay, there are two options. So depending on the selection or the checks that you enter for the facets, these regions, these charts are going to be refreshed. Okay, so now let's go to the form. So we have a plain form here, and we can also enhance this form. Let's do that. Let me go to edit this page, in this case, the page number 3. And again, we have a form region including all the items for the table. Okay, so we can enhance a little bit this form. For example, we can move the items to be in front, for example, something like this, easily. And now, for the site representative, we are using a select list. And for the region as well, we have a select list. Maybe for the country, you can provide a select list as well, for city, for state, even for credit rating, you can use, for example, a radio group or something, another type of item. Okay, let's save the changes and let's go back to the application. Okay, so it changed. It had changed a little bit the form, and again, you can make most other changes to this form. If you need to use, for example, a select list for the country, or if you want to create validations for this form, or if you want to, for example, if someone wants to delete this row, probably you want to make sure that this customer doesn't have any pending order or any order. Okay, so you can add the validations that you need in the form. So you can find it here. For example, you can create validations, and you can, if you have a procedure or a package that is validating the data for the customer, you can call that procedure here. And if after create or after modify this customer, you need to run a specific process, you can do it. So you can position where this new process you need to run it. It can be after create or modify the customer, or it can be after that. Okay, so you can position where the process can be run. Okay, let me go back to the app. And if I want to change the style for this application, I can use the team roller. And there are a number of styles here. So you can use one of these styles, or you can customize the properties for the style. So you can select different options, or you can enter the custom CSS. Okay, let's go to, I'm going to change and I'm going to use the red light. I'm going to set it as current. Okay. Now the style for the application has changed, and I didn't need to enter a line of code, anything. I just changed the style for my application. Okay, great. Now let's go to interactive report. And the interactive report allows users to view all the data. In this case, we are seeing all the information regarding the customers, but also the end users can maintain or create new customers. What is very important for the interactive report is that allows end users to customize this data. So they can filter the data, they can create charts, they can create new columns regarding or depending on the data that you have in your report. They can download the data using different formats. So there are many options or actions that they can include in this form or in this report. For example, one of the customizations that end users would like to do is to create a control break for the customers. So let's do that. And I can see the customer and the locations for this particular customer. Okay. Another thing that I would like to do is to highlight those customers. It can be by credit rating. For example, if I want to highlight the credit rating, poor or excellent, something like that, they can go to actions, format, highlight, and they can add a new highlight condition. For example, let's do something very quickly. Something like this, and I want to highlight the credit rating, and I want to highlight the excellent customers. Okay, so I can see all those customers here. And after all the customizations that end users make to the report, they can save this report. So the next time that they visit this report, they can find it in the as a primary report that was given by the IT department, or they can find a second option that was the second or the customized report that they create. Okay, so we can save this report. Okay, and we can save it as default or as a second option. And let me show you. If I download this information, I can download as a PDF, Excel, HTML. Let's see the Excel. Okay. So we have the control breaks, and we have the highlight condition by the excellent customers. Okay. And again, if they are using the interactive report, it includes a form, so end users can create new customers or they can maintain the data. Okay. So here are two options quickly that you can create this sample customers form using Apex. Let me show you other options that you can create. Okay, for example, I have here this Summit sample application. I create a dashboard, and the form application didn't include a dashboard, but I create this one that includes top sales representatives, the companies by credit rating. For example, if end users want to see the excellent customer, they can click to the region and they can go directly to those customers. Okay. Also, there's another region where users can find the top 10 of customers and the top 10 for the products. Okay. Let me go to the third option that I mentioned, is the tree region. So it contains all the countries, so end users can expand and they can see the details, or they can see the customers for the customer. Okay, so if I click on one of them, I can find the information for the customer. And we also can collapse again. Okay, so after you have seen the phase research approach, interactive report, and the tree region. The most similar approach is this one, the tree region, but the phase research and interactive report allows end users to make many other actions that not only maintain or create the customers. So it's up to you what do you think, what is the best option, the phase set, the interactive report, or the tree region? Okay, now let's go to the orders. As I said, you can create a master detail using Apex. You can create a stack. For example, we can select one of the orders, and at the bottom, you can see all the items regarding or related to this order. If end users need to add another item, they can do it, and they can find easily the product. So when they select the product, automatically they get the price, and end user can enter the quantity for this product. Okay. The same way or similar is for the side-by-side. So they can create an order, enter all the details, and then enter the items for the order. And this is the drill down. This is a master detail as well. And we can see the details for the order, including the customer, the sales representative, the payment type, date shipped, date order, and the items. Okay, so let me show you a different approach using the phase research, where users can filter this report easily, so they can check one of the sales representative, for example, and they can see the orders that are assigned to them. Sorry about that. So if we want to review the order information, we can click on the ID of this order, and we can find the details and the items. Let's create a new order. Okay, so let's go to create. So you need first enter the name of the customer. So you don't know what is going to buy this customer, but you need to enter first the name of the customer. This is how the phone application was working. So let's select the customer, the sales representative, the date, and the ship date. The payment type, we say it's cash, and add some items. Here is the price, and let's enter the quantity. Okay, so you have here, if you want to edit the number, the quantity, you can edit the row or add more items. Let's add another. Let's add this one, okay? And add here. And you can create the order, okay? But you first need to provide the customer information, and after that, then you can enter the items information. So let's create this one. Okay, you have here the name of the order. It's here. So you can add more items or delete the order if you need it. In the case that you need that, for if the end user enters the same product, for example, let's try to add the same product they are going to get, oh, sorry, I didn't add the same, this one. They are going to get this error message that the product already exists in the order. So they want probably delete the product, or what they can do is to go to the product and add more and change the quantity for the product. Okay. Okay. So there are other. Here are 4 options in this Summit sample application. You can run this application by yourself. It's public, and you can run it on at any moment. Okay. The last thing that I want to show you is the shopping cart. So as I said before, you can have this approach for the orders, but also you can provide a different approach for the orders. In this case, what I want to do is to allow end users to shop or to buy the things by themselves. So this can be, 1 second, please. So this option can allow to end users to go directly to the page and buy their things, to explore the products, and when they are ready, they can shop the products. Okay, so let's review this option, and this is car. This is the cars region, and they can see the image for the product, the price, the description, and they can explore the products by themselves. So when they are ready to buy something, they can add the products to the cart, okay, and they can, let's see, and the price is automatically calculated, and we can add this product to the shopping cart. Let me add another one, for example, this one. And let's go to the shopping cart. Okay, so at this moment, when they are ready to buy the things, they can enter the information for the customer, the payment, and more, not at the beginning. Okay, so that's the right way, or the modern way that customers can buy their things. Okay. Okay, let me go to the presentation. So if after this demonstration you are interested to know what you need to know in order to create or to modernize your forms applications, you need to know that the modernization is not a trivial process. It includes a lot of time and money and resources, probably. So that's why this is the right moment. If you want to enhance the process for your company, you want to enhance the rules, this is the right moment to do it. So there is not a silver bullet. There is different approaches that you can use in order to create your project. So don't try to replicate exactly the look and feel that you have in forms. Take in mind that Apex is different, includes different components. So explore the Apex components in order to understand what is the best component for your approach. Okay, and as I said, review the business. Don't try to replicate how the business logic was created in forms. Maybe that business logic is outdated. So this is a good moment to enhance, to review, and to allow end users to have a better or simple process. Okay, and before you start with this modernization project, my first suggestion is that you need to train developers in Apex in order to know how to work with Apex, what are the components, how to create the regions, how to create the validations, the process, all of that. And the second suggestion is that identify a suitable area as a proof of concept. So don't try to start with an entire form or set of forms application. Start with a small module and then start modernization other modules using Apex. Okay, so get familiar with Apex, understand how it works, and then you can start moving with other modules. And my third suggestion is try to push as much as you can the business logic to the database. I know this can be hard, but I can guarantee you that this is a best way to do it. Okay, and here is a blog post that I would like to share with you. I published this the last month in February, I guess. Oh, yeah, in February. And it's about the top 10 reasons why Apex is ideal for forms developers. So you can find the link in the chat as well. So you can read it after this session. Okay, another important thing is that if after this session you are not sure about the modernization, you can run this short test to determine what best works for you, either keeping forms applications or creating new applications using Apex, or consider modernizing your entire forms applications. Okay, so you can go directly to this link, and there are 2 or 3 questions in order to understand what is the best option for you. All right, and here is a lab created by Vanita Subramanian, and she created a workshop about the migration of Oracle forms to Apex on autonomous transaction processing. So you can find all the steps in order to modernize a sample form application using Apex. If you want to learn more about Apex, you can go to apex.oracle.com, and the shortcuts to the documentation, videos, blog posts, and more, there is apex.oracle.com/shortcuts. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today, and I wish you a good day.